That was on.
It was in Wainimi.
That was
on
around the corner from his house. Here, in Wainimi.
So Aggression plays a backyard show. And how many people come out to see him in a backyard?
It was a birthday party.
It was a birthday. I don't know, 60 people there or something like that.
Sick,
yeah.
But it wasn't like an announced show.
Yeah.
Yeah,
no, for your buddies.
And it was DY that was playing because Lynette was dating the guitarist of that band.
Yeah,
Gabe. And then DY got Aggression to come. Like, hey, would you guys come play this thing with us? Like, yeah, sure.
That's sick.
So sick.
Oh, so do you guys want to hear my first real meeting of Mark and Henry from Aggression?
Yes.
Yes. What?
Of course.
Is that the most rhetorical question ever asked on this? That's the most rhetorical question ever asked on this podcast.
I'm just going to say up front, we touched on this already.
Okay.
But go.
No, dude, I don't want to hear when you met the guys from Aggression.
No.
Well, it's funny because Henry's parents lived cat a corner behind my house on this place in Wainimi. So, and I remember every day I'd see his mom walking the dogs around the block and stuff, and I'd see him, but I didn't really know who he. As a matter of fact, he told me this fucking story, and it's funny because I was probably 11 years old, and I had a mohawk, and we're on our BMXs going around the block, and it's like, "Fuck you, punk rock it!" And he said that me and Floyd, my cousin Justin, went by his house flipping people off and yelling punk rock or whatever. He's like, you fucking flipped off I think it was Mike Ness and Glenn Danzig. There were touring bands that were staying at his parents' house. And I was just well, in my defense, they were wearing a lot of eye makeup. I probably just thought they were fucking death rockers or something like that. But so anyway, this is BSOD, and we're playing Pika's Garage. And it was I think the bill was us, DY, Leviticus, and Irony. And Dave Jessen, a friend of ours, for a while was playing guitar with Aggression because Henry had gotten a car accident and broke both of his arms, which he ended up cutting his fucking own cast off just to play the show.
I forgot all about the broken arm part.
Yeah.
Both arms?
Both arms, because he was holding the steering wheel when the truck went down the hill. When he hit them, both arms snapped. So he broke both of his arms. He ended up cutting his own fucking cast off months before he was supposed to, or whatever.
I'm gonna mimic what the you have the
constant
cast, you have these poles.
Well, you have to describe because we're on a podcast.
So his arms were out straight, and then
he's gonna hug
poles.
somebody.
Like he's a zombie.
Yeah,
he's a zombie.
His arms are out like he's a zombie.
And then these poles that went to his hips.
Yeah.
To help keep his arms up.
Okay.
Yeah. So they were all the time.
Well, who cut him off? Because you can't cut him.
I don't know how he did it.
I'm sure somebody. I don't know. He probably chewed him off as fucking Henry.
He was a tweaker at one point. So who knows?
Yeah. So I remember we had just heard this story from. I don't want to call anybody out, but it is kind of funny. We had just heard a story. Gabe Sosa from DY was talking about DY had just played the Oxnard Community Center, and they covered a Dr. No song.
Burn.
And then Kyle Tauscher from Dr. No walks up to them after. He's like, "Hey, nice cover. Next time, fucking ask," and walked away. Right?
I mean, that's a really current song, kind of, right?
Yeah. So we'd heard this fucking story, and then all of a sudden we literally had 3 Aggression songs in our fucking set, right? And then in walks fucking Dave Jessen, brings in fucking Henry Knowles and Mark Hickey. And I'm just like, holy fucking shit, dude. I'm literally almost half of our set is fucking Aggression songs. So I look over at Rob, I'm like, dude, we have to ask. Because we just heard the story about fucking Kyle and DY, right? Yeah. I'm like, dude, we have to go ask. He's like, you ask. I'm like, no, you ask. So I walk up, and I think Rob's trailing behind me. I'm like, excuse me, just so you know, we wanted to do some Aggression songs. Would you guys mind? I'm like, fuck yeah, do it, right?
Yeah.
And the funniest part was we hauled ass on these fucking songs, not because we were skilled, but because we were scared shitless.
Right.
Like we fucking, I
want
think
to
we
get
did,
it over with.
yeah, we did like Rat Race and Intense Energy, and I forget what else we did. But, I mean, we fucking blew through these songs, and I remember Henry just being like, "Fuck yeah, that's even faster than we fucking do it." And he looked at me, he's like, "But where was the lead?"
Where's the lead?
And I, and I just kind of like, very like stylishly like pointed at Henry. I'm like, "The lead's right there." I'm like, "I'm not playing the fucking lead." I was like 13 or some shit. You know?
That was awesome.
But yeah, then after that, Henry and I actually became really good friends for a long time.
That's awesome, dude.
Yeah.
So
let's talk about BSOD. How many shows do you think the band played?
With me and the band, and we did some parties and stuff. But there was a period in time they decided to bring in another guitarist. They got Eric Vera for a while.
Okay.
And Eric started writing really metal songs.
Okay.
And my thing is,
it's appropriate for the time, right?
Yeah, but I'm not a metal guy. I'm a punker.
I know, dude. You don't even like Junkyard.
Yeah. but so I just stopped showing up to practice.
Yeah.
And so BSOD actually continued for a while without me. I remember I think it was the Philippine Hut show, and it was funny. Davi and Pika and Rob showed up to my house to kick me out. And they're just like, "Bro, I'm like, dude, I haven't even been to practice. I'm going to play the show. I don't even know half the fucking songs." I'm like, I'm not upset. This is cool. But yeah, so I think BSOD actually ended up later doing more without me than they actually did with me.
Okay. And then after that, you joined back up with Davi and Rob and do Solemn Fate.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
And that one, originally, it was, I believe, a 3-piece, and Davi was playing bass and singing. That's when we got Mike Schmeeken in on bass, and Davi was just actually singing for a while. But that one, we did quite a few shows with Solemn Fate.
Yeah, so this hones right into the pocket that I want to try to figure out. On this pod, we're trying to nail down, is the window's getting smaller, I feel. I wanted to talk about 87 to 92, but it's kind of like a lot of shit happened in 87, but that's kind of when it faded away.
Yeah.
So it's really only
the
80,
last
88 through 90 probably is like the actual dark time.
Yeah.
Well, because Forrest, can you back us up? So in 91-ish, this is when Moggs starts going again, and the Mayfair Theater.
Yeah,
correct?
yeah. And at that time, I was in Spring Voodoo. I think was the band that I had.
Okay, so the dark years of not having a lot of shows or place to do shows, you think is 88 to 91, 88 to 90?
Yeah. And the thing was that there were shows, and there were some really cool shows, but there was only a handful of punk bands at the time.
Okay, so this band is perfect to talk about, because if Solemn Fate is 88 to 89, let's do it. Let's deep dive into it, man.
Well, the thing is, and what would happen, I think, actually more so when I was in Spring Voodoo than Solemn Fate, because there were just a handful of us.
Okay.
And so unless the bill was going to be the same for every fucking show, we were doing, every show was like one punk band, a funk band, fucking some hip hop shit, a speed metal band.
Yeah.
So it was like it was very difficult to get a solid bill, like a punk rock bill. You know what I mean? Yeah. And then, but that's when bands started showing up. Like I was in Spring Voodoo. One of the opening bands was like Offspring or something like that. You know what I mean? Like bands from other places would come in and play.
So it's just just that in an 88, 89, there's actually just not a lot of bands.
There's not a lot of bands. And we could still do shows at the community center. The catch is that you were required to have all this ridiculous security and like all these special
you got to get a guard for every 50 people or some shit. Right,
and all that was so far out of our means to make happen. So it didn't. It did like once,
okay,
or twice.
So here's
the Reuben show in Thousand Oaks.
Yeah.
which was
Which got
amazing.
canceled and ended up at your grandma's house. But
Yeah, it ended up at my granny's house. Yeah.
Okay,
that was 89.
So how about in '87? RKL puts out one of the greatest punk records ever. Where do they play after they put out the second LP?
Not in
Europe.
Oxnard.
Yeah.
They just go. They hit touring.
L.A.
and
San
tour.
Yeah.
LA, San Fran and tour.
Yeah,
and then maybe a show in Santa Barbara here or there.
Yeah.
But
yeah, like Santa Barbara in L.A. But it's funny because there was a time in the '80s where if you were a punk band from anywhere, you wanted to play Oxnard.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Because the NARDCORE scene was a fucking big scene. So bands from all around the world wanted to play Oxnard. But at this time, it's like, fuck Oxnard. There's no, like, even a lot of the punk bands started playing speed metal or just fucking basically retired for a bit.
Right.
And then, came back later. But, it was a weird time. And do you guys want to hear the story about the Rubin show?
Sure. Go.
Okay. This is actually fucking kind of, it was, Joe, you were in Dignity at the time, right?
I was not.
Top of Screen Onions.
I was not in the band yet.
Oh, okay.
Because John was still alive.
Yeah.
So it was 88.
Okay. So there's Solemn Fate, Dignity, was it Purple Holocaust? Who else was on that bill?
Yeah, Purple
Holocaust. And
DY.
And DY. And I think it was Rob and Laurel that were putting the show together, right?
No. That was the Skate Palace show. This was
okay. Well,
Aaron Horn put the show together. The Tito kids.
Yeah. So basically, like, this place Rubens, which is now Borderline in Thousand Oaks, and at the time it was Rubens. And so no big deal. We're there. We're sound checking. Everything's great. And we've done this whole thing where we went to the fucking TO Mall throwing out flyers. Security got scared and told us we had to separate from each other, like we're too big of a group and we're scaring people because we had like mohawks and green hair, and so we're at the fucking TO Mall in the '80s.
No more than 3 people.
Yeah. Back when having a mohawk and green hair was not cool. It wasn't like So anyway, so we house all these flyers and shit. We're sound checking, everything is cool, and then all of a sudden, punk rockers start lining up in front of the place. And you have like fucking spiked leather jackets and mohawks and fucking all this shit. And the manager comes up and he's like, yeah, so you guys are going to need banded security guards with armbands. We're like, okay, how many do we need? And we're like, it's like 20 or something like that. So we're like, all right. So we run out and we fucking grab 20 people. We put little armbands on them. We're like, cool, we have security. Yeah, they have to be over 21. And we're like, God damn it. So we went and found over 21. I think like Jerry Garcia's dad, like all these people, right? So we managed to get 20 over 21 people armbanded. Yeah, but we're gonna have to check because they can't have criminal records. And we're just like, do you just not want us to have the fucking show here? I mean, do you just not want us to do this? And they're like, yeah, we don't think we want to have this here. So we're just like, fuck. So we're leaving. My granny went to go visit family in Arkansas, and my cousin Eric was watching her house. So I remember just pulling up and knocking on the door, and Eric answers like, "Hey, show got canceled. Is it cool if we just do it here?" And he's like, "Well, yeah. How many people?" And he looks out because we're right across from Bubbling Springs Park, and there's cars up Bard Road all the way to fucking J Street, right? You just see like a line of headlights. I'm like, a couple people. And there's 5 bands. And we played in my granny's living room.
That was awesome.
That's rad.
So cool. Cool. Is there anything else you can say about this time period? In 88 to 90.
Yeah, like I said, it was, it was cool because we would do, a lot of the people who were in punk bands before that, there were great bands. Like fucking, you had like, there's like Thought Festival, Bold Decree, and like all these fucking great bands, but they weren't punk bands.
Yeah.
And, Davi was doing like Coup d'etat and like the Hymen Blasters or whoever at the time. But, like I said, there were a few punk bands at the time, but we couldn't just keep playing the same shows together. So there were just these weird fucking eclectic shows. And the only thing that was cool about it was we all knew each other. So all the friends would come, but for the most part, like we would have like, you know, a crowd of our friends would be up in front of the stage for the whole show. But for the most part, you get a group of people coming to see one band and split. Or like you'd be playing and half the fucking crowd is the back waiting to hear fucking somebody else. You know, it's just this, it's kind of cool but lame.
Yeah. That's interesting.
Yeah.
So we jump to the 90s.
Yeah, let's go.
Let's jump to Spring Voodoo.
So Spring Voodoo, that was actually where I met Donovan Coffey and Danny Moa. And they had, I forget what the name of the band was, but they had a band. And there's...
Tell him your first practice story.
So a mutual friend, this guy Colin, I don't even know if I should use his last name. He's like a sheriff now or something like that.
Oh, then he should definitely use his last name.
Oh, yeah. Colin Winchell. And the funny thing about Colin Winchell is he was one of our numerous bass players.
Did a ton of coke and then stabbed someone. And...
Yeah. So he was actually the first bass player for The Unexpected.
Okay, and who's
in '84?
His band, 84.
Oh, yeah, in '84. So, but anyway, I knew him, and he's like,
I do it so you don't have to.
But Colin hits me up. He's like, hey, I know these guys, and they fucking want a guitarist. You know, they're like a punk band. I was like, all right, cool. He's like, so these should be this place, JER Studios, and they you can rent by the hour and have a place to practice. So they're like, yeah. He's like, yeah. So they want you to show up on this day at this time, blah blah blah. And I think it was Greg Callie's bachelor party or something that day. Joe, do you remember?
I don't remember what it was, but yeah.
There's a bachelor party. I got fucking just shit-faced.
Yeah, this is before his practice is where he's
yeah. So before the practice, I'm at a fucking bachelor party. Fucking shit-faced. I go in there, I think I was wearing a shirt and tie, and I used to have this big fucking like 1960s Ampeg combo amp that weighed a fucking ton. This fucking tube amp. And I go and I kind of kick the door open, and as I'm walking in, I drop the amp. It just fucking rolls. I plug everything in, turn up as loud as I fucking can. I'm like, yeah, play this song. Why can't you guys play this? Anyway, I was a total fucking ass. I guess afterwards, Donovan and Danny Moa tell Colin, I never want to fucking see this guy again. Never bring him back here again. And Colin's like, just give him one more chance. Give him one more chance. And so I came back, and that's what. As a matter of fact, there was this guy, Alan, that was playing bass for them at the time. And he's like, if you guys bring him back, I'm fucking leaving the band, which he did. That's when I brought in Travis Scrivener to play bass. And that was the start. That was the start of Spring Voodoo. And fucking that's where I met Donovan. That's where I met Danny Moa, all those guys. But that was actually is weird. We never recorded, like we never really did anything. We played logs like all the fucking time. And come to find out, and this is really bizarre, when a lot of other bands like this, like other musicians like this, it was kind of this weird. I mean, it's punk, but it was like almost new wavy type punk. I don't know, but
Joe, you describe it.
I would say they sounded like New in 7 Seconds.
Okay.
Yeah.
Kind of,
but,
with a different, not with Kevin singing, because Kevin's voice is so
distinct.
Very,
so.
Yeah. We had worse vocals, but come to find out, this is really fucking bizarre. When Strung Out was starting out, they would come to every fucking mock show. And I just thought this was fucking hilarious when I was in Ill Repute and we were playing with Strung Out. These guys were like, holy shit, you were in fucking Spring Voodoo. I was like, that's what you fucking remember me from? I was like, literally, like the most obscure fucking... But no, they all remember me from fucking Spring Voodoo because they went to every fucking show. That's actually how I got to meet Jim Cherry, because him and his dad were throwing shows at Cheers. And he started calling me all the time, like, oh, you guys play Cheers, and Simi Valley, which we never ended up doing. But But yeah, that was an interesting time.
Yeah, that's cool, and that bridges out of like the what we're calling like the darker times and into when Moggs is firing and the Mayfair, and so forth.
Yeah.
And you played both for us with that band.
I don't. I played the Mayfair. I don't remember what band I was in. I think Spring Voodoo played the Mayfair.
I think it was Spring Voodoo too.
Yeah,
Like the tail end of Spring Voodoo.
So why does Spring Voodoo break up?
You know what? I don't. I think with like most of my bands just kind of like just petered out. Like it just kind of stopped. I don't remember exactly what it was that happened. I mean, I know like Clinch Fist and stuff. There's like, Donovan joined the military and everything. I don't remember with Spring Voodoo. It just kind of slowed down and stopped. I don't remember.
You're still really good friends with all those guys, so there was no bad blood or anything.
Well, yeah, no. Actually, I've never ended a band with bad blood. Usually, like I said, it's one of those things where we just stop practicing. Nothing
well,
happens,
our version of caught off guard. I hate you.
What do you do in the gap between Spring Voodoo and starting Clinch Fist?
Drugs? I'm just kidding.
Yeah,
no.
It's a fair answer.
That is.
Yeah.
No. Actually, no. But I got married.
Okay.
And got married. Got a real job, and then started playing again. It was like I decided to try and be an adult for a minute.
Yeah,
it didn't work out very well.
And you're like, fuck that. Let's start a band.
He was still writing songs. Like Forrest and I wrote 3 songs together in that time, in that gap.
Okay.
Yeah, I think a couple of them we do now.
Right. So 2 of them are Out of Trust songs, and one of them we split the song, and I took my parts and he took his parts, and his parts became Reflections, and my part became The Sky, the Burning Dog song Sky.
Oh. Yeah.
But if you played the 2 songs together, like on top of each other, like that bass line that I wrote for The Sky fits 2 Reflections.
That's rad.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we play them at different tempos and all that, but
we can't play it over the top of each other. Like
you can't now, but yeah,
should do that
because
like what are you supposed to do? Like is Dark Side of the Moon over over Wizard of Oz?
Wizard of Oz, yeah.
Anyway, it doesn't work out like
anyway,
that.
So Forrest was still doing stuff. It's just not in an actual band.
Yeah, you did form something. Okay, so in '94 you start Clinch Fist, and this has Donovan from Spring Voodoo, and then also you get Rob back, who is in Solemn Fate and BSOD with you.
Yes.
Yeah, and then you have Maury.
Yeah,
you get Maury.
Yeah, it's fine. Yeah, because Maury,
and he's a longtime friend at this point.
You've known him for a long
time.
Yeah, because I've known Pika since we're kids, so I've literally known Maury since he's like 7 or 8 years old. And it's funny too, like, and fucking Samoans always piss me off because they can play any fucking instrument you set in front of them. Just like I remember one time Pika's like playing piano. I was like, "Oh, I didn't know you played piano." He's like, "Well, I don't." I said, "Fuck." But the funny thing with Maury is he was just this obnoxious little kid. Let me play your drums. Let me play your guitar. Let me play this. Let me play that. Fucking knocking on the door. Hey, it's me, Maury. I got the grub. And he comes in with 1 cookie, and there's like fucking 30 of us in there, But, he learned on our shit. That's why he still plays, because he's left-handed.
Right.
So if you ever notice, he plays upside down. Like he doesn't switch to left-handed.
Yeah, because he learned on your shit, your right-handed shit.
Yeah, wow. So he plays right-handed instruments upside down. He still plays, even his drums are set up for a right-handed person, so he plays it like almost like playing the hi-hat like somebody would play the ride.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So he
everything's
doesn't play
just backwards.
cross-armed. No. Oh, wow.
Yeah, no. Yeah, so he learned on all of our shit. So, and he's a fucking amazing musician, but it's just funny because, he just learned fucked up because he had to play with our shit, and that's how he learned.
Yeah, and this is kind of like the NARDCORE resurgence. Starts in like '94.
Yeah, that's when we started getting there are great fucking shows going on.
Yeah, so talk
funny,
about.
And there was a little not bitterness, but there was a little bit of bitterness. It was funny because all the bands that stopped started coming back, which is fucking great. But you start hearing these people say, fucking NARDCORE for life. And I was like, well, that old fucking, where were you in '82? It's like, where the fuck were you in '92 when we fucking needed you? You know what I mean? Like everybody came back and they were just like, yeah, NARDCORE for life. It's like, well, but what happened?
With a 5-year hiatus. Yeah.
Yeah, it was great to have everybody back, but I do feel like, Joe and I, and there's a handful of us that were kind of holding the fort down for a while.
Yeah.
But
Well, that's the point of this episode.
Yeah.
We're talking about the Joe Rivas generation.
I got nothing to do with these names.
Sure.
So let's talk about it kicking off. What do you think is the catalyst, other than, is it just simply that there's 3 bands from the same area which are all awesome, which would be Burning Dog, FAY, and Clench Fist?
Yeah, we're the best 3. I'm just kidding.
No, but from that area, you're like a force, and you're all friends bands.
Yeah.
It helps. It helps that there's 3 bands. You obviously you're friends with everyone, but this is like you have like 3 brother bands starting that are all from the same area and all good, and all sound a little similar but different enough that they stand on their own. That's a force. 3 bands can get a scene going.
Yeah.
And that's not going to mention all the other bands that start around the same time from Ventura and so forth. But this is Nard coming back.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the thing is, there was, it's so funny because you talk about similarities. Like, I mean, Clench Fist and Burning Dog, we kind of like wrote songs for each other. You know what I mean? Like there's shit that we very much collaborated on musically.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have like FAY, which when it started with my cousin Justin singing, there was stuff that was taken from, before that he had a band called Stalefish. And I actually joined Stalefish for a little bit and wrote them some songs. But some of those songs like kind of going into FAY. So there were, a lot of the stuff was collaborated. You know what I mean? So there were a lot of similarities, but it wasn't by chance. You know what I mean?
Sure.
But,
well, yeah, I mean, it's going to be chance a little bit too, because we did all have the same. We all love the same bands,
and we all grew up together.
Yeah. I'm going to throw this out about Forrest, the whole legend thing. So you guys do this legend thing, Joe Rivas thing. Well,
that Joe is slowly starting to love.
I am not loving it at all, but. If there's any legend in my life, it's this guy, because he taught me my first punk rock song, how to play my first punk rock song on guitar.
What song was that?
Rat Race.
Yep.
I'm going to say 85. Can you
somewhere on
house?
There. Yep.
We were both little kids, and I could play guitar already. I already knew some songs.
Yeah,
but
Joe's doing like chords and stuff, like an actual guitarist. I'm like, no.
He's all like, here, let me show you this song. It's called
Rat
like, Race. I know that song. Yeah,
Joe's
but
like,
how do you play it?
Can you teach me how to play Don't Fear the Reaper? And you're like, well, I know a Rat Race. Yeah. So it starts taking off, and there's shows all over. Like Deja Vu starts.
Deja Vu.
Yeah.
The theater is now starting to book punk bands regularly.
And there's a fair amount of one-offs in Ventura.
Yeah,
that are going.
and the Secret Spot and all sorts of other little random spots.
Also, the living room starts going.
And the living room is starts jumping big time in '95.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so that's it. You have some steady venues, and you have a lot of good bands. Missing 23rd starts in '95.
95.
Yeah, great.
So 1 year
band.
behind.
So
Amazing band. Who else is going?
Well, in
94, 95.
In Oxnard, Peter Pan, Bobby's band, Dave.
Oh, River Bottom Nightmare Band.
River Bottom Nightmare Band
starts.
Pig Alley, of course.
Yeah,
Motive.
Let's actually jump. Let's jump back. I jumped ahead. Can we talk about Fooey? When is Fooey's time? It's a little before that, no?
Yeah, just a little bit.
Okay, so if Fooey's not 93.
94.
Okay, 93, 94.
Yeah.
You have the jump. Are you friends with these guys?
No.
Not really. Forrest, are you friends with them?
No.
Are they more Ventura? Why are you guys not friends with them?
Well,
who's in that band?
Yeah, exactly.
No, seriously, who's in that band? I don't remember.
They were.
He
Zach
was from over
some dude
over
from
the grade,
from
though.
To up the hill.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so we'll educate
Oh,
you guys.
speaking of TO bands, gotta remember. God damn it, California Redemption is a good band.
Yeah, that's later though.
Later, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
that was
so Fooey's who? Where are they from?
Well, three of the guys I think were from Ventura. Or
Okay.
They ended up in Ventura, but
Okay.
Zach was from To. They might have all been from To and just moved to Ventura because that's where shows were happening.
Okay, but they are a legitimate headlining band in the early '90s, right?
Yeah, people
Okay.
liked them and whatever.
People other than Joe Rivas liked Fooey.
Well, they were
Let's talk about this. This is
they were
important.
pushed a lot by church stuff, so there was a lot of church stuff involved with them too.
Were they a Christian band?
neat.
Well, no, they weren't a Christian band, but the church kids were really into them.
Why?
I don't know, because they were safe. I honestly, I don't know. It's like, why do people like the Aquabats? You know, it's the same kind of.
Well, they dress up and they're fun.
Yeah, well, that's kind of what their shtick was too.
Did they dress up?
Well, sort of.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
In what way?
I found that they
I don't know, like Bowie, like 70s Bowie kind of
skirts and shit.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Hey,
I'm-
I'm just asking a question, man.
But Zach, there were issues that guy did.
Well, we're lucky that another
Things-
Zach came along and was pretty
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
It was only a couple years later.
In this may enrage, this may upset some of the Ventura kids. Well, they're not kids anymore, but they did some shit that wasn't very cool. Blacklisting Oxnard bands.
Oh, Fooey did.
Oh yeah,
They didn't want your bands to play.
They didn't want us because we were associated with tough guyism or fucking whatever. Like Burning Dog. Like really? What?
Yeah.
What,
Yeah, we were like
Clenched
the
Fist,
least
we were just-
tough guys.
We just wanted to play and have fun. That's all we were trying to do. Now maybe some people that came to see us, whiny meat.
Oh, they're
guys or
always the
straight
knuckle.
guys
Yeah,
or-
they're the knuckleheads that fucking showed up.
But there were plenty of knuckleheads in Ventura as well. So all the
Yes.
Pierpont guys and the Avenue guys and all that. So he manipulated things to make it difficult for a lot of people.
Yeah.
So
Sucks.
Okay.
I mean, we were always cool, but
Hey.
we always knew that was happening, and we fought through it regardless. And actually, Eddie helped us, at least Burning Dog, out a lot by not putting us on flyers, and then we'd show up and play, and the kids totally loved us. And then we're like, "Who are you guys?" "Oh, you're Burning Dog." "Wait a minute, we're not supposed to like you." Wait, So there was all these.
So they actively, shat on you?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
On these three. On FAY,
Yeah.
Clenched Fist, Burning Dog.
Yeah.
Wild.
Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah.
we're breaking some stuff out here.
Yeah.
See, I did not know. Before my time, man.
I didn't really want to go into that, but.
That's okay. We
I
got to
don't
know.
wanna badmouth anybody, but
No, but
It is
that shit
history.
really
regardless.
happened.
Yeah.
It's like 18 years later, dude. It's
Yeah.
cash.
Yeah.
Or no.
Well,
28 years later. 28. Fuck.
Go on, Forrest.
No, does it suck that I have absolutely no recollection of Fooey?
Nope.
Okay, I don't remember them at all.
Well, they
Because
are in
Pig
Nard.
Alley was far better.
Pig Alley was
And-
great.
and they were pretty much the same feeling, sound to what they were doing.
What was the pre-Pig Alley band when Mike Wolf was in it?
Ugh.
They were just called Yuck.
Yeah. It worked. EYCH.
Joe, gonna need you to
shit.
spell that. Is
I
that
just
it?
did. EYCH. Yeah.
Hilarious.
Yeah, the punchline be the joke. The question. That's sick.
Yeah.
But Clench Fist only lasts a couple years.
Yeah, we weren't around for very long, but it was fun. We had a fucking blast. But oh my god, things got. I remember there's at that point in time, I was drinking a lot. Everybody in the band
At
had
that point in time?
Yeah, well, I'm drunk right now, so
We're working on it.
so-
Two of us.
yeah.
Dude.
So it's funny because Donovan and Rob both had substance abuse issues, I guess you'd say. Maury was the wild card. We were always predictable. I'd be drunk, they'd be fucking all twacked out. Maury would just be oh, I decided to try fucking Angel Dust or fucking I'm on Sherm or fucking just like something. Like I'm hopped up on Goofballs, like some weird fucking random shit from the 70s that you did. Like I'm on Quaaludes. You know, it's like he was always fucked up, but it's something different every fucking time.
Yeah.
And I remember, I think it was the Armory show. I was like, this is going to be a pretty big show, man. Maybe we should fucking, like, do it sober.
This is that Jughead's Revenge?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And I remember we decided to practice sober, because at the time, that was when I was living on Rossmore. And literally, most of the band was living there at the house. And we had the bedroom down below, which ended up becoming Big Bob's bed from Aggression's bedroom when he moved in. But for a while, it was just, that's where we practiced. I was like, man, let's fucking practice sober. And it's fucking muscle memory. We'd never played sober before. That was the worst we ever fucking. I'm like, yeah, okay, let's get fucked up. Because this isn't going to fucking work.
Yeah, you're like, how do I tune my guitar?
Yeah. Like, we couldn't remember the songs. Like, everything was fucked up because we'd never played them sober before. I was like, yeah, this isn't going to work.
That's wild. So, and that band is fizzles as well. Like, the band is kind of fizzles. Stop jamming.
Yeah, yeah. Everything just kind of, petered out.
Yeah, Donovan joined the Coast Guard. Rob went to jail.
No, actually,
Maury got shot.
Yeah, I think Donovan's Coast Guard thing was actually why Spring Voodoo.
Oh yeah. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
you're right.
Yeah. Because he was actually
Donovan got married.
Yeah, Donovan got married and tried to be an adult.
And joined the service.
And
joined the service. Actually, that was
between Spring
before.
Voodoo and Clench Fist.
Yeah. So that's actually what stopped.
He joined
Voodoo.
the Loudhounds.
Okay,
is what Donovan did. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, cool. And then after Clench Fist, you and Joe achieve your dream and get to join Ill Repute.
Yeah. It's so funny. It's like, still this day, because fucking I idolize fucking Ill Repute. Still this fucking day, and it was such an honor to be in the band. But it's still, come on, it's like if Keith Richards decided to make the Rolling Stones, but he's not going to play guitar anymore. He's going to sing, because Tony was like, I'm done writing music. You write the next album.
Yeah.
I was like, this is not fucking Ill Repute at all.
Yeah,
that's actually how Critchen ended up being started.
Gotcha. Let's backtrack out of that a little bit. So, Ill Repute does Big Rusty Balls.
Mm-hmm.
Then they break up. Then they get back with Bleed, and Bleed is when they get Joey Libke and Joey Libke's friend Nashaya, and then it's still Tony. So it's Tony, Jim, and then Nashaya and Joey Libke. 4-piece with Tony playing guitar and singing. And Nashaya playing the leads.
And Tony was still the principal songwriter and musically and stuff. So, and that was a great, and Jim. That's a great fucking album.
I love that album. That album gets lots of love on this pod.
Yeah,
and
it's so funny. I used to save bad reviews from the NL album because I agreed with most of them. Yeah. Like on its own, I don't think it wasn't a bad album. But if it was called something else and not Ill Repute, I think that Maximum Rock and Roll referred to it as an abomination onto punk rock.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna get to Ann now. I'm setting it up. So, okay, because I wonder if you have any information. Because basically, Bleed comes out. They play a few shows, and Jim basically leaves the band.
Jim quit.
So Jim quits, but you guys. And then
I got Chris.
Okay, and Nashaya quits too? No,
Nashaya and Chris played in the band at the same time. Then Nashaya quit, and then they got Chuck.
Well, I think Nashaya was also playing for, was it Glue Gun?
Yeah.
He was playing for Glue Gun, and
But Joystick was his band like before Ill Repute.
Yeah. And then they got Chuck, who was the guitarist in Stalag.
Okay.
Well, Blake played guitar too, but Blake and this other guy, Chuck.
No, Stalag 13, the Stalag.
Yeah.
The Stalag Conviction CD that came out in the 90s.
Bailey.
Yeah.
A song that gets lots of love on this pod
Yeah.
as well.
and then it disintegrated one more time completely, and then they got somehow Forrest got in the band. That transition I'm uncertain of, but
Joey Libke's still playing drums on
yeah.
Man Now.
And then
Yeah.
Chuck is gone,
Okay.
and it's just Forrest, Chris, and Tony,
Okay.
and Joey on drums. And then Tony hits me up, and then I joined the band too.
Okay. So you joined the band.
But they had already written like 99% of the songs for the
Oh
record.
shit!
that was
Half
coming
the
out.
songs
they were
I stole
Clinch
from
Fist songs.
the fucking Clinch Fist songs, which actually
That was my question.
With new
I think
lyrics.
sounded better in
Clinch
yeah.
Fist.
yeah.
Okay, so half of the songs you bring along with you, and then most of the stuff was
Yeah, so-
written like in that time before Joe comes in.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's funny because like when I joined the
contributed
band,
two songs.
yeah, when I joined the band, there was like, okay, we want to put out a new album on this date,
Yeah.
and Tony was like, he almost just seemed fed up at the time. Like
Okay.
he was writing lyrics and stuff, but he was just kind of like, well, you write the music. I'm like, well, fuck, do you guys want to put out an album in a couple months?
And they have no
And
songs yet?
No, there's actually one song on the album that was recorded with Nishai on guitar.
Okay. So that song's written.
And
They have one song,
Yeah.
and they're like, let's put out a CD in a couple months.
Yeah.
Okay.
yeah. So I was like, and
Joe,
I've never like hacked songs from past bands. You know what I mean? Like I like writing songs,
Sure.
but like literally half the fucking songs on that album were fucked up versions of Clinch Fist songs.
Gotcha.
or our one other Caught Off Guard song. So I said we had 3 songs.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Or also the one that I didn't realize, like, because there were 2 songs I wrote the music to like days before we went to the studio. And one of them, I remember after recording it, just being like, "Oh shit, that's a Dag Nasty song."
Yeah.
Like musically, it's almost fucking spot on a Dag Nasty song. I was like, God damn it!
never go back.
Yeah. That's wild. But you didn't hack it. It made the record.
No, but yeah.
That's crazy.
Anyway,
Okay. So that
and
record
the
comes
thing is,
out.
I'm so glad that Ill Repute is Ill Repute again. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that's what I want to hear.
Well, I really like when Tony sings and plays guitar. Like,
Yeah.
like there's that one song on the Transition LP called "Burnin'," and that
Mm-hmm.
song is so fucking good. And it's
I love Tony singing. Don't get me wrong. It's just I love hearing like Ill Repute
no, of
with
course,
Saneth and Jim and Tony. You know what I mean? Like
of course,
hearing it the way you want to hear. I wish they'd write more new music, but
yeah,
It's gonna happen.
it'll happen.
We were talking about that earlier.
It'll happen. So, yeah,
Zach said we're going to have to write all the songs for them and then just give them to him.
we just go record the whole thing. Fuck it.
Yeah.
Fuck it. Not even tell him, dude.
And just have Fenef come in and do vocals on top.
And then just give them all credit and goes through the whole
Yep.
thing.
oh, that was probably I think like I was so fucking stoked. We played the Ventura Theater one time, and Saneth showed up, and it was when Joe and I were playing, and he came up and sang "Sleepwalking." I was like, oh,
Yeah.
fuck, this is fucking so rad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Jimmy Just.
Oh,
Yeah.
Jamie Just.
Oh my god.
Jamie Just was
So-
still in your set
Yeah.
list? Oh, that's
Yeah.
awesome.
No. Get this. Okay. So this is
You going to tell the girls?
so fucked up. This
The
is
Baker
so
Street?
fucked up. Yeah. So these girls know they're from Lancaster, right? They come up, and these girls are actually kind of cute. And they come up and they're like, "Oh my god, we drove all the way up from Lancaster, and we just want. Can you please play Jamie Just, which was already on the set list, right?"
Yeah.
And we're like,
Force
you know
is
what, for you
yeah,
guys-
For you.
we're like for you guys, we'll do it. We'll do it, right?
Yeah.
So in the middle of the set, Tony's like, "This song goes out to the girls that came all the way here from Lancaster. This song's called Jamie Just." And these fucking 3 girls marched right directly into the middle of the pit and fucking salute the air.
Oh, no.
Holy shit.
So like,
They're
are you
they're-
fucking kidding me?
Yeah, so they're Sig Heiling.
Yeah.
Jesus.
I'm like, are you fucking kidding me?
You're like, never mind. Go fuck yourself.
Yeah. Fuck the girls from Lancaster.
Yeah.
Fuck Lancaster.
Jesus.
What about the blood capsules?
Yeah, I'm like, you see the Filipino that's singing the song, right? Like, fucking, why are you fucking polluting the air?
And the two half Mexicans playing guitar.
Yeah, and the two half Mexicans that are fucking up on stage. Oh, the blood. Did you already tell them the blood capsule story?
No, Stu just asked that while you were talking, so you didn't hear him say it. But he said, well, tell me about the blood capsules.
No, I heard that. That's what I was wondering if you already told it or not.
Okay.
So, what that song? I remember. Yeah. So, Joe and I always said that was a song that I think Tony wrote that one.
Yeah, that's the one song Tony wrote.
That's the one song that Tony wrote. And Joe and I just thought it was so corny, cheesy, like bubblegum punk. Like there's something about it. Like we just thought it was so cheesy. We didn't want to do it. And so Tony was like, Tony loved it. He really wanted to do it. So Joe and I pre-planned it. We have blood capsules. And right when we were in the middle of the song, we fucking put our foots up on the fucking floor mat monitors and started like banging our heads in sequence like it's a fucking Kiss concert, and opened our mouths and had fucking blood coming out and stuff. And Tony is totally fucking into the song, singing to the crowd. He just turns around and sees us and just fucking walks away. Fucking walks towards the drum. Like we have blood coming from our mouths. We're just like,
yeah.
Cheese in it.
So good.
Yeah.
Man. What else you want to get into? We got an hour out for us.
Wow, that's great.
Yeah.
We can go into the OOT stuff if you want.
Yeah, I don't have it on my paper.
Yeah.
That page didn't print for me. Let me see this. Hey, again, like I told everyone, we'll I'll start editing the podcast once we get to 100 Patreons. Yeah, so then you do Critchen next, which is basically the same lineup, no?
Yeah.
no.
It's without Chris. It's without Joey. It's without me.
Oh.
Yeah. So what?
Well, this is where Chuck makes his
This is
entrance.
Chuck.
Yeah, Chuck comes in, and we had Fred Dixon on bass, and because I had told Tony, I'm like, we can't. Well, this isn't no repute. It's not no repute. So we decided to reform, and we're basically still doing the songs from and now, and writing new songs, but we're just doing it under a different name. And we got, I think, better reviews over it because it wasn't called Ill Repute, if that makes sense. Like, we play somewhere as Ill Repute, and people just go, that's not fucking Ill Repute. So when we did it under the name Critchen, it kind of, the song stood on their own. Like, it wasn't, trying to be something it wasn't.
And where did that name come from?
Oh, shit. Should I tell the story? God damn it.
Well, yes, you might as well.
If it's off limits, we don't have to badmouth anybody.
Yeah, no, I don't want to tell a story.
All right.
I'll tell you in private. It's actually a pretty funny story. But yeah, no.
Forrest, are you willing to tell the story for the Patreons?
For what?
For the Patreons?
He doesn't understand.
Oh, there's about there's a small amount of people that donate money to the podcast to help the costs, and I like to do little side things for them sometimes. So
sure.
Okay, let's do that. Oh yeah! All right, we're back. Told a little story for the Patreons. If you want to get into that stuff, hit it up, dude. Patreon.com/185 miles south. And we're back in. We're talking about a time that Critchen was up at.
No, this is Ill Repute.
No, this is Ill Repute.
Ill Repute is up in Tahoe.
The And Now lineup. And we're playing in
You're staying
Reno.
at a house in Reno.
We're playing in Reno, staying at a house in Tahoe.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a bitchin' fucking house in Tahoe. But the thing is, our bass player at the time, Chris, it was his dad's house. But the thing is, and the house is like, it's a summer house. So, like, the lights were on a timer, to where it made it look like people were staying there and stuff. But the water heater was turned off. So we had to go down as a dirt floor basement. Then we had to go down and try and figure out how to light the water heater so we have some hot water. Yeah. So, but the thing is, the light switch was fucked up to where If you turned it all the way on, it was off. If you turned it off, it was off. So you literally had to hold the light switch in the center to keep the light on. So I'm on light switch duty in the basement.
And the door is on a spring. So it's slammed shut. Yeah, I'm just adding some details for us. Sorry.
Yeah. So the door's shut. It's fucking dark as fuck. I'm holding this light switch, and Joe and Tony Cortez are over there trying to light this fucking water heater. They're trying to figure it out. And I look down, and there's a dead tarantula on its back. Just kind of curled up on the ground.
The size of my fist.
And,
it was
huge. And just so you know, but just so you know, Tony and Joe both are deathly afraid of spiders.
Yeah.
Right? So I'm holding this light.
I wrote a song about it.
That's acting 8 eyes on me.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm holding this light on, and I look down like,
and you have a stick.
Hey guys. I'm all, hey guys, what's that? And they both like literally tiptoeing up to this fucking thing as cautious as possible.
Oh, that's right. Tony had the stick.
Yeah, they're both leaning over it, and Tony goes to kind of poke it with the stick, and I shut the light off and ran out and closed the door. And you could hear them screaming like fucking little girls, and like shit's getting knocked over. They're fucking. Yeah.
That's good.
That's so good.
Yeah.
Cool.
But that was kind of a fun trip.
Yeah. That's cool. Do you want to talk about Caught Off Guard?
Sure.
Joe, what do you want to say about Caught Off Guard?
Well, I wasn't in it. This version of it.
What version were you in?
Well, like I said, Forrest and I wrote these 3 songs in between Swing Voodoo and Clench Fist.
Okay.
And one of them was called Caught Off Guard.
Oh.
Yeah.
Which became the El Repeat song, whichever one that was.
Yeah.
But then Forrest loved that name, so he just kept that name. And then used it for this next band, this next generation of...
Yeah. I even had... it's so funny because Caught Off Guard, there were many... Because originally it was me, Maury, and Joe. I think were the original Caught Off Guard. And then I moved to Santa Cruz, and I started Caught Off Guard up there. And then I moved back, and there's another Caught Off Guard, and I think we have more drummers than fucking Spinal Tap. But the lineup, for the most part, I think it was Larry White was the drummer. But we had like so many different fucking drummers in and out of that band before Larry White came in. But that was the days of the NARDCORE Manor.
Oh.
The
greatest club in the world.
Yeah, I mean the band started before the Manor, but that was also when we decided to reform Critchin. But we decided the full name of Critchin after it reformed was The Almighty Passion of the Critchin Part 2 Electric Boogaloo featuring the Critchinettes. That was the whole name. It kind of became a parody of itself. We had like backup singers. Yeah, we had the Critchinettes, so we had like female backup singers and stuff. Yeah, we were covering like Rhinestone Cowboy, and we did YMCA from the Village People. It was a whole thing.
Sounds terrible.
Yeah.
It was.
It was funny, but yeah, it was, at that point it wasn't really serious anymore. But
you don't say.
The Village People.
we did. Was it the NARDCORE reunion show? We played Rhinestone Cowboy, and like Tony Cortez was actually wearing a Rhinestone Cowboy hat, and we did it. It was, yeah. But
sick.
But no, that point in time, the whole NARDCORE Manor, that was like, it was I had a fucking blast. But I mean, some of the debauchery that fucking took place, I'm surprised I fucking lived through.
Do we need to get back to the Patreon side of this thing?
No, we don't need to talk about that.
Yeah. It's funny, like some of the, like, I don't know, like, I remember there was one time, I think Jackass was practicing, and Ismail used to come over a lot. And, you know, the kids from, well, they're not kids anymore, but Keep Fighting. they would practice there. And because I would do like, $20 an hour for any band that wanted to come in and practice, and they could use the stage and blah, 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 and so on and so forth. But I remember Keep Fighting came into practice. When they walked in, there's a table downstairs. And like I said, Jackass had just practiced. And when they walked in, the table, I'm sitting there with basically Pete Feinstone from Bad Religion, John Faniff, Ismail, and Sammy Town from Fang. And I think at the time he was dating Natasha, the drummer for Chicks Pack, right? And we're all just sitting there talking. Everybody's telling stories and shit. And these kids, they had to be like 16 or something at the time. And they come in and they're hearing these fucking stories. They stood there in the fucking corner, just listening. They never went upstairs. They never fucking plugged their shit in. And at the end, they tried to pay me $20. I was like, dude, you guys haven't even fucking practiced. They're like, no, we're just kind of fucking hanging out. But that place I loved it so much because there was that type of just, the people that you grew up fucking idolizing are now just fucking hanging out, and just, it was a fun time.
Yeah.
But like I said, the parts of it that I'm surprised I fucking lived through, because I was never really a drug guy, but then all of a sudden people started showing up, bringing drugs. Like, I was sponsored. I never had to pay for shit, but people just wanted to fucking hang out. So that's actually when I started doing drugs, and thankfully I haven't fucking touched that shit in fucking 15 years or something. I don't know. But still drink, smoke my cigarettes,
Yeah, well, In Control played the NARDCORE Manor. That was an awesome show.
There is a fucking picture. It's actually on my Facebook thing. If you look at of Ryan stage diving out of my bedroom onto the crowd.
Yeah, I was actually going to bring up if you live there or not.
Yeah, he lived
Yeah. There's a 600 square foot loft above the stage, and that was my bedroom. Yeah, I lived there. That was my house.
That's right. Is that the reason why the NARDCORE Manor stopped existing?
No, it's not. It's funny. Like, the rent was always paid, everything was always cool, but the problem was directly across the street was the office of my landlord. And I was throwing shows and just like the debauchery that was going on there. Like, he just got to the point where, he just had enough. And I don't fucking blame him with some of the shit that was going on there. Okay. So, basically, I just ended up getting kicked out and had to fucking split.
Yeah.
So let's talk about your current band, Out of Trust. Awesome band that you do with Joe Rivas, and also with Maury, that's been on the show, and a guy you were in several bands with, Donovan. Now,
it's okay. It's great. Actually, and a funny thing is the lineup is basically clinch fists with Joe, because is Maury, Donovan, and I were the band for Clinch Fist.
Yeah. And
so it's great to, like, there's something about that, like, and I've always said this, like, I've been blessed in the respect that, like, I have unwittingly, like, unknowingly, somehow managed to be with some of the best drummers in Ventura County. I mean, the first drummer I ever played with was Pika, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah. And then, playing with Donovan, but there's something about Donovan and I together that clicked. Like, almost every drummer I ever played with, I'm like, oh, so right here, if you go into halftime, or right here, double time, oh, this part, if you lead with the snare, or like whatever. Like, because I'm kind of an asshole when it comes to songs. Like, no, right here is what I hear, and if you do this here and that there. Donovan just, like, knows. Like, oh, so he'll just play it. I'm like, yeah. Like, I don't have to tell him anything.
It's hard finding a language, but when you're writing a song with a drummer, you have to, like, find that common language. Yeah.
And then, of course, there's Maury. Like I said, is fucking asshole that just rips on everything. So it's like fucking no brainer.
Just go, dude.
Yeah. And then Joe and I, it's just funny because we have been, even though, like, we haven't played together a lot in band. We've been writing songs together for fucking 30 years. I don't know. I'm fucking dating myself.
25 at
But-
least, yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. I'm very, very happy with this band, and a lot of it just has to do with just who's in it. You know what I mean? It's everything about it. It's family. Do you know what I mean? It's all musicians that I love playing with, but it's all the musicians I've always loved playing with.
Yeah.
Yeah. But,
Well, I love everything about it except you, so.
well, no, I mean, my shit sucks. I'm just glad to be in the band.
Yeah. Anything else you want to touch on for us?
No, I mean, I don't know.
Well, we've covered your discography, your musical career. We've talked about a whole bunch of other side stuff too. So,
Okay.
anything else you want to throw in there, though? Anything you wanted to talk about?
Did
Well,
you already touch on the Isla Vista riot?
No, not really.
Well, there's the Isla Vista riet.
You want to
well,
talk about that?
let's wrap it up on the Isla Vista ride.
Yeah.
Soft close.
95. 95.
Yeah, and
We
it
had a
was,
friend, Missy, who was
yeah, it was
going,
Missy. Yeah,
who was going to UCSB and some frat or some shit. What are girl frats? What are they?
Fraternity.
Sororities.
Sorority. And then she invited us to bring some bands up to play IV the week before Halloween, I think, something like that. Yeah. So
yeah.
we brought everybody. So FAY, Clench Fist, Burning Dog. I think Pig Alley too, right?
No, I think No Motive may have showed up.
No, they didn't play.
Oh, okay.
But anyway,
Yeah,
we
it was over.
everybody played. It was ridiculous.
And there's
We were the quote unquote Burning Dog was the quote unquote headliner. We were just playing
Yeah.
last. That's all. But
Yeah.
Yeah, but we're in a fenced off yard, which
the
is
front yard.
shoulder to shoulder fucking people.
yeah,
But if you looked over the fence, there was a good 100 kids pitting in the middle of the street. You know, I mean, like, there's a slam pit in the middle of the street. So it's like the people who were in the yard, weren't even half the people that were actually there. They just couldn't fucking get in. Like
Yeah.
it was pretty gnarly.
and then the cops show up at midnight. Like literally at midnight, they were there, and Burning Dog. We were going into I don't know, some song, and I'm playing, and I look up and I see the cop. Oh, okay, cool. I know what we know the drill. So
We're from Oxnard.
Yeah, no problem. We just start turning our stuff off. I hit John because he's still playing.
Yeah.
Because he's still looking at the guitar. He's like, dude, I'm playing it right. I'm all, no. He's like, because he thought because they were on mushrooms.
Yeah.
Him, Maury, and Dave were on mushrooms that night, and he was fucking up other songs. And then he's like, no, I'm playing it right. And I'm a look, dude. He's like, oh, cops. Oh, okay, cool. And then he just, we just turn our shit off. Well, right when that transition between the cop going, okay, cool, these guys know the drill, it starts to turn around. This fight comes out the front door of a Wainimi guy and some Santa Barbara dude, or who knows where that guy was from.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, and the cops jump on our friend Jason Clinshaw.
No names.
His goal. Oh yeah, I'm sorry.
Names are fine. Go for it. Fuck it.
Yeah, but his girlfriend at the time,
way past the
Sally.
statute of limitations.
Yeah.
30 years.
His,
I don't know all this stuff.
Yeah, his girlfriend at the time, Sally, was 8 or 9 months pregnant. You know what I mean? Like she was like ready to
She
pop.
was ready to pop. Yeah.
Yeah, and she runs up and tries to pull the cop off of her boyfriend. The cop turns around and shoves her to the ground. That was fucking it. These
And then-
cops got their fucking asses kicked,
Oh,
dude.
shit.
I mean,
And then the Wainimi guys just lost it.
yeah, and just start fucking these cops up.
Loud
I
Hounds
remember
was the
this-
other band.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Loudhound.
Yeah.
So
maybe I should pluck that name.
That's all right.
Okay.
One of the cops comes up to the microphone, and at this point, like, okay, no more names from here on, but their fucking belts were empty. Like, a friend of mine got one of their guns, like there was a flashlight and
radios,
yeah,
billy clubs,
and So at this point, there's fucking kids in the street trying to overturn a fucking cop car. And
they
this one
called
cop
them back
goes,
up. Yeah, real quick.
Yeah,
they called them back up. So they had the cops with the shields and
full riot gear
showing up.
Yeah.
To clear the street because they were flipping cars over and fucking lighting them on fire.
Yeah. And this one cop comes up to the fucking microphone.
The girl cop.
Girl cop. She's like, well, that's why you guys you're from Oxnard and you're nothing but ghetto trash. And as she's talking, you can see her eyes swelling and getting bigger. You guys are just ghetto trash from Oxnard. Yeah. It's like, yeah. But the funny thing is, I think at that time, Mateo was living in, I want to say Arizona or something, and called the Rossmore house to see if we'd heard anything about a riot in Isla Vista. I was like, oh, fuck yeah, we kind of caused that. Yeah, no, we were there. He'd heard about it in fucking Arizona.
So later,
fucking wild.
So as we're burning dog, as we're tearing our gear down because we brought the PA and everything, the cops come back and like we're gonna, to John, to Burning John, they're like we're gonna arrest you for inciting this riot and like John's on mushrooms, like freaking out, like what? Oh my god!
Yeah,
and they're all stay here. We'll be right back.
Yeah, sure, buddy. Sure.
So they leave, and then John comes to me like, Joe, what do I do? And I'm all, let's switch clothes. I mean, because we had the same build, especially back then. I was still skinny, so we, I'm all just give me your beanie, give me your jacket, and get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
And then they came back, and they're like, okay, we're gonna take you. I'm all, what do you mean you're gonna take me? Take me where? What are we doing?
Yeah.
Because I'm the only sober person probably in Isla Vista.
Yeah, in all of Isla Vista.
In that fucking zip, you're the only sober person in that zip code, I think, at that fucking point.
Yeah. Except maybe the cops themselves, but they're probably on something. But
they're all on coke.
Yeah. And then, so then, and then we're out in the street because they take me out of the yard and down to the car, and they're going to try to put me in the car.
Yeah.
And like my brother Davi, we just talked to a little while ago, is like ready to like fucking just attack these cops along with the rest of our friends. They're just like waiting for this to happen.
Yeah.
And I'm just making the cops look like idiots because we didn't do anything.
Yeah.
They're trying to say that we were saying, fuck the police, kill the police, all this stuff. I said, you guys can do this. You can take me in. But we recorded this whole thing because we were getting ready for the record. So we were recording all of our live performances. So everything, so we could just listen to it and rip it apart. Obviously, this would have been terrible to listen to because they were so fucked up. But the rest of the band, but we had it. We had the whole thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the only thing you hear me saying on the tape is like, everybody, calm down, get out of here.
Yeah.
Not fuck the police or, fucking riot or anything like that. So,
wow. Well, that was a great story.
Yeah.
It's a great story to end on. And no one got arrested.
A whole bunch of people got arrested.
No, a lot of people got arrested.
Okay.
Yeah, we didn't. We all got okay, but there were a lot of arrests made that night.
Okay. Oh, yeah. I was like, Jesus Christ. A fucking miracle.
We had Last in Line played too. That was the other band.
Okay.
Oh, okay,
some other friends of ours, Whiny Me Kids, that didn't really last very long. But one of those, actually, the two brothers got arrested.
Mm-hmm.
Some other people.
All right.
Fuck.
Yep.
So good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Forrest, thanks for being on. And we can always
no problem.
We can always do follow-up story time. We should.
Yeah.
I think we should have we should probably have you be recurring.
If you guys want stories, I can go all fucking night.
Yeah. It's almost my bedtime.
Yeah, me too.
All right.
All right. Well, you guys have a nice night.
Yeah, man. Thanks so much.
Thanks, Forrest.
All right.
All right. See you later.
Bye.
Bye.
Are we doing this? Or you want to? move on. Let's see what we're gonna do here. Yeah, man. So, actually, I think let's wrap this one up for the week. We got
Let's go.
that was a lot, and I feel like I learned some things.
I learned a lot of shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, Joe, do you think you learned anything?
Yeah. I mean, I lived through most of that with these guys.
Yeah,
So, yeah, it definitely,
Refreshed your memory.
refreshed my memory on
Yeah.
some of the stuff I forgot. you
yeah.
know.
It was fun to take a trip down memory lane.
know,
and-
I wasn't always with my brother because he was living down. See, fucking goddamn it,
Third time.
It's late, dude.
Yeah.
he was living down in the valley, so and I was up here, so I didn't get to hang out with him a lot. So there's a lot of that stuff that he talked about that I didn't.
Yeah,
I mean, I was aware of
Sure.
peripherally, but so it's really cool to hear a bunch of that stuff.
yeah. No, it was fun.
Yeah, it's just cool to like see where music was at that time and like creating something new. So they have to like merge genres together.
Yeah.
And like
Yeah.
seeing people like make it work and
But for
taking
that-
it and fucking just taking it.
For the rap,
All
rock,
right.
and metal, though, man, 91. That is really early because I think the Inside Out 7-inch is 1991. So it's like Rage isn't even starting to demo yet.
No, not even.
You know?
And the body count stuff that really surprised me too.
Yeah.
I feel like they were the first to like do that. Well,
Yeah.
If
Well, he didn't get into that, but they rehearsed next door to Body Count. When Body Count finally started playing, they moved into the place next door to Coup d'etat Sullivan.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so they would hang out with them all the time and exchange ideas and that kind of stuff a little bit.
Oh shit.
Not exactly directly, but
Yeah.
they
they hung out. Yeah.
like between songs they would go play basketball.
Yeah.
Ice-T and my brother fucking.
Dunking on each other.
I don't know about Duncan. No, none of that. Neither of them could do that. But
Maybe they just played horse.
yeah,
Yeah.
That's
No,
a friendly game
Side
of hoop.
out.
yeah.
A friendly game of hoop.
But nobody worked harder than my brother there in the 90s
Yeah.
that I knew.
Well, especially with when he was talking about like, dudes getting fired from the band and like the label pressure and stuff. I mean,
Yeah,
it's like you're fighting for your spot, and keeping your chops up, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
But once he left, the band
Just fell
dissolved
apart.
because the label dropped him and all that because they knew he was the one writing the if you will, the hits. He told you the Mr. and like these, and he was the principal one on that. So,
Hey, dude, they're like, no Davi, no fucking deal.
yeah.
Yeah, I'd agree.
Yeah.
He slaps that
I'm
shit.
not saying he did it all himself. I just, he's the one that pushed that stuff. So
Yeah.
Yeah, no Rivas, no Marlboro contract.
because he brought that hardcore
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's the roots of
influence
it.
Absolutely.
into that music. Where the other guys were,
He has that integrity.
Randy Rhoads type guitarists and stuff like that were trying to do something.
Yeah, they're
different.
like, yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and they're all
Great musicians.
they were phenomenal.
But
musicians,
he's the one coming in with like the punk ethics and like
Yeah.
the meat.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, yeah.
Well,
Anyway,
that was fun.
Really enjoyed that one.
Yeah.
I hope
that was good.
I hope people enjoyed that, and we're gonna continue to get people on from that era. We got to get Rob Calvert. We got to get Pika.
yeah.
We got to get a bunch of people. So we'll do it. So
Go.
Patreon up, people.
Yeah, come on.
hey,
Fly this guy out now.
enough. Yeah, I know, dude. If I could fly from San Diego to Nard,
Dude, you made it.
you can't anymore because the Oxnard Airport used to fly to San Diego, but now it is only a hub for Nard to LAX.
Yeah,
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and it's only like one airline, I think. Either
you could
Uni-
fly to Santa Barbara.
I could fly San Diego to Santa Barbara.
Yeah,
Well, that would help a little bit. I needed this fucking. I love to have my car because like if I'm here for the weekend, but dude, this weekend I literally had an hour. Like just that hour to go to Grady's
when you went to the
was
record
it.
store, right?
Yeah, because it was like I woke up. We did Jeff, and then it was 3:30, and like I had 1 hour, to like. Because I thought I was going to buy burritos and then come and do this.
Right.
Hey, enough fucking cry. There's no crying in podcasting.
No, fuck that.
Hey, NARDCORE. So.